Talk about alkenes now, right? Our next homologous series, we are talking of what? Alkenes. Alkenes. So we are saying alkenes, right? They contain at least one. They contain at least one double bond. They contain at least one double bond between the double bond is between two carbon atoms, right? And this makes them unsaturated. So you see, they are now different from alkanes. These are now alkenes. They end with ene, right? They are unsaturated because during you see, we are saying during a chemical reaction. During a chemical reaction, I want you to really understand this thing, the difference between these alkenes and alkanes. During a chemical reaction, we are saying the double bond, you see, that double bond, right, can break. It can break. You see, the process of fusion, you see, of when we talk later, the breaking of bonds, it can break, right, to allow more atoms to be added, right, onto the molecule, onto the molecule, right? So you see, alkenes with only one double bond, right, have got the same formula like alkanes, right? But then we are saying the simplest alkene, the simplest alkene must contain two carbon atoms, right? To allow for two carbon atoms, to allow for example, it has to be like at least two carbon atoms to allow for the double bond. You understand? For the double bond. And this code, we can call this one, the simplest is ethane, right? Ethane, when we talk about ethane, which ends with ene, is an important, it is a very important we can say organic chemical, or it's an important commercial, we can say it's an important commercial organic chemical, right? This ethane is very important. It's in fact commercial, right? And used to make things like plastic polythene. To make plastic polythene, we use ethane. To make ethylene glycol, right? And many other products. So we are saying propene again, we can think of propene. It can be, is polymerized to make things like polypropylene, you understand, and other plastics. So you see these alkenes, they're actually used in the making of what? Of plastics. So if we are drawing graphically the diagram for ethane, we say there is a double bond, you see, and then this carbon will bond to the hydrogen, this one to the hydrogen, this one to the hydrogen, this one to the hydrogen. So when we are written, that's why it's C2H4, you see. And then let's talk of propene. Propene, it has got C3, so there should be at least a double bond, you understand. And then these ones now, they can bond to hydrogen, this one can bond to hydrogen, and this one can now bond to what? To H. So you see, one carbon is bonded to 3, the other one is bonded to 1, the other one is bonded to 2, right? So that's how, so they contain at least a double bond between the two carbon atoms, you see, at least, just like ethane, right? And they've got the general formula C2H2N. So this is ethanes. So our next, we want to talk about alkenes. Again, this is the third family of hydrocarbons, and this compounds, again, they are unsaturated, right? And they contain a triple bond. Then it was double al, right? Or we can say alkenes, right? The alkenes, the double bond, the alkanes, single bond, and then the alkynes with an ALK that ends with the YNE, alkanes, right? And they've got a triple bond.